action. Welcome. Hello. I hope you are very, 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 very well. If you want to take back control of your bad habits, you know the ones I'm talking about. I'm sorry to call them bad, okay? But they're bad, meaning they're not good for you or good for people around you or good for your mission or your life. And the beautiful thing is, the reason I use the word control is because you have control over these things. There's things that I'm going to give you today. I just spent the last hour of my life creating these 7 things to give you total control over your bad habits and to stop being a weenie. If you want to stop being a weenie, this will help you, okay? And by the way, one thing you can do is realize that you're being a weenie by going back to these bad habits. Most of you don't want to be a weenie, and using identity against yourself will help you shift. So, 7 hacks to control your bad habits, okay? Here we go. All right, are you ready to dive in? Ready to dive into the pool of success with me? Then join me here. So, an overview of what we're going to do today. 5 reasons why you have these bad habits. First of all, like the 5 reasons that you even are able to have these bad habits in the first place, okay? And then the second thing we're going to do is I'm going to share with you 7 proven strategies to conquer these bad habits. And these strategies, by the way, for those of you that don't know me, hello, my name is Brett Bailey. I'm a men's coach, and I've coached hundreds of men how to conquer their bad habits. So when I give you these 7 proven strategies, they're not only proven by science and Psychology Today, not that website, by the way, Psychology Today, but just, Psychology Today, like what people know about trauma and psychology and how the mind and body work together. But also, it's proven by my work personally on myself, overcoming an eating disorder, overcoming so much shit, overcoming horrible, horrible habits of being lazy and doing nothing, eating like shit, being socially anxious, and leading to like porn and all this other shit, okay, to now having super healthy habits, really good work habits, really productive habits. I have super good productive work habits. I have super good health habits, okay? And I have these things because of the 7 strategies I've used on myself that I've also taught now to over 200 men. I'm probably nearing 250 men. I'm probably there already, honestly. I haven't updated my Instagram bio where I share this with you. But hundreds of men and even hundreds more that I haven't worked with personally in a coaching client relationship that's paid, but just free value I've given to hundreds of men over the years. Okay, so 7 proven strategies. Are you ready? Are you ready? Did I hear a yes in the back? Aye, aye, Captain. Okay, just like SpongeBob, I'm going to be your captain today. I'm going to take you through the underbelly, the underworld of these bad habits, how to get rid of them. So if you're ready to go to the underworld of these bad habits and conquer the shit out of them for good, for fucking good, then let's dive in. Okay, so 5 reasons why you have these bad ass habits, okay? The first reason, I'm going to take you through 6 human needs psychology. Really, I'm not going to take you through all of it. Actually, that's for a whole other video for like an hour. This is a training I will literally give to my clients for an hour at least. Just the intellectual understanding, not even homework to understand themselves through this lens more. But 6 human needs psychology was developed by Tony Robbins, the best life coach that's ever walked the face of the earth, probably the guy who pioneered that term in the beginning. But 6 human needs tells you basically why people do what they do. It's a lens to really understand why people do what they do. And one of the core human needs is certainty or comfort. Okay? And this has to be in the conversation of your bad habits because you have the need for comfort. You have the need for certainty. And these needs, he says, are like water. You will go to comfort and certainty no matter what. The question is, what vehicle are you using to get to that need of comfort or certainty? Are you using the vehicle of fast food, porn, and lying to yourself or saying things to yourself that make you feel good, like, oh, it's not that bad, or like it's okay to take a day for myself, when really you should be getting after it. You should be eating better. You should be doing these things that are good for you, that you don't need some guy like me to yell at you and tell you what you should be doing. You should be doing these things. But instead, you lie to yourself and say that, it's better to just take a day off. I deserve to, have this food. And sometimes you do deserve it. Sometimes it is good to rest. Most of the time, you're lying to yourself. And that's just the truth. Because it's uncomfortable. And you value comfort, number 1. So the first reason why you have these bad habits is you're valuing comfort too high in your life. You need to learn to value growth over comfort. Growth is one of the other 6 human needs. You have to learn to value growth over comfort. Because if you value comfort over growth, you're never going to grow, because growth is found in discomfort. When you don't eat that food you really want to eat, you grow in your body. When you don't jerk off to porn, you're growing your level of confidence and energy, right? When you face the discomfort of the things that you don't want to do, when you face your fears, you tend to grow. You tend to grow rapidly. But when you stay in your little comfort circle, like I used to, of jerking off, of watching YouTube profusely, and not even positive shit, just garbage shit, eating garbage food, smoking weed, if you get into this cycle, that's a very comfortable cycle. You're not going to grow in that cycle. You're in your realm of, you're in your threshold of comfort and control. Now, most of you know this. Very few of you truly act on it and push your boundaries. Okay. And you know this. Now, that being said, when you push your boundaries enough, you do need to have some form of rest or recovery or respite, because you can't live in total uncertainty and total discomfort forever. Your brain will go fucking nuts. So you need to not just value growth over comfort. You have to realize that you're going to have comfort one way or the other, but better to find healthy ways to feel comfortable. For example, learning to rest and meditate, learning to do breath work, learning to have healthy, authentic relationships where there's intimacy and touch. That's very soothing for the nervous system, very comfortable, and you can fill that need in a very, very healthy way. So the reason number one you have these bad habits is first and foremost because you're valuing comfort too high in your life. And number two, when you actually do need comfort after you have pushed yourself a ton, you've really pushed yourself out of your comfort zone, you got to have healthy ways to do it. You got to have healthy ways to fill these needs, okay? Does this make sense? Can I get a yes? Okay, man, this is exhausting to teach you guys this. Why is it so exhausting? Maybe because I've said it a million fucking times. Okay, I try to balance between like the yelling, like do this fucking shit, and also like entertainment and making it playful and fun so you actually listen to me, like infotainment, but then also like compassion, love, because I have a ton of compassion for all of you out there that are getting after it. I have a ton of compassion for you because I know how hard it is. But we live in a culture that's very comfortable and tells you to not do hard things, but doing hard things is the freedom. That's where your freedom lies. Okay? So, that's that. Next thing. The next reason why is dun 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 because you hate your life and you're not doing anything really fulfilling and exciting. When you're not really being yourself, when you're not really living a fulfilling life, you're going to escape your life with drugs and food and alcohol and porn, because you're not actually going out and having beautiful sexual experiences with hot people, because you're not actually doing work that lights you up that you really want to do, that you're not actually living in a place that you love. When you're not doing these things, it's much more likely you're going to numb yourself because you hate your life, and you might even hate yourself. And so you're more likely to numb yourself because there's so much pain in your life because you just aren't living a really cool, exciting life. So one of the secrets to having better habits is go out and live a really cool life. Go have sex with really awesome people. Learn how to be cool and be attractive. Learn how to find work that you love. Start to study. Start to build good habits. And when you do these, you're naturally going to do less of the shitty stuff, because you actually like yourself and your life, so there's no need to numb yourself. If you're already having great sex, there's not much need for porn. If you're already having an amazing work life, there's not much need to numb yourself with TV and drugs and alcohol. When you have great relationships, there's not much need. So that's the second thing. That's probably a reason why you have really bad habits, especially some of you. Now, some of you still have bad habits, and you do have some things going for you in your life, and then it's going to be from these other reasons, like maybe reason number 3, which is you lack belonging or tribe. And addiction is more often than not a sign of a lack of love within yourself. In fact, one of my initial teachers, I interviewed this woman on my podcast, Emmy Brunner. I think that's her name, Emmy Brunner. She taught me initially that an eating disorder, I had an eating disorder, an addiction to food. I had bulimia, where I'd eat a bunch of food, binge eat, and then make myself throw up. She said that type of behavior can't survive in a loving environment. And that's when I realized I didn't fucking love myself. I realized that type of behavior doesn't survive in a loving environment. So if you have bad habits, it's likely that you lack deep belonging in tribe, because you can have people around you but still feel alone. It's like, how does that happen? There's people around me. How do I feel alone? Well, it's probably because you don't either feel like you're being yourself around these people, you're being a fake person around these people, you're wearing a mask, you're being a fakey fakerson. And because you're being a fakey fakerson, you're not actually connected to your heart, to your real self. And so, because of that, you feel like something's missing. And you're not feeling really loved for who you are. Because if you're feeling loved for a mask, that'll give you a sense of validation in the moment or significance in the moment, but it won't make you feel truly like you belong because you're not being you. It's your fake ego that's getting belonging. It's not you. And so that is a likely other reason you have bad habits. There isn't enough love in your life. There isn't enough love within yourself. You don't love yourself that much. There isn't love flowing through your being. When there's love flowing through your being, you don't really feel the need to go get addicted to stuff because you feel like love is flowing through you, right? So that's reason number 3. And by the way, each of these reasons I can make a whole hour at least long video on. But I'm just giving you the actual reasons without a ton of examples and science. I'm just telling you these are the 5 reasons why you have bad habits. Okay, so reason number 4 is you have a distraction brain, poor attention skills. Now this is in part childhood trauma that creates poor attention skills because your ability to focus actually is impacted by childhood trauma. Okay, again, I don't have enough time to go into all this. There's a lot of good books on this stuff. For one, Gabor Mate has a great book, and what's the name of it? I think it's called Scattered Attention or Scattered Minds or Scattered Brain. You can read about it. But a distraction brain is one of the reasons you have bad habits because you have to focus on new good habits. If you can't keep yourself focused, it's much more likely you're going to go to addictions like porn or like Netflix or scrolling or stuff like this to distract you because you're used to having a distraction brain. You actually don't feel comfortable to be focused and to be concentrated. Okay, and I'm going to get to some solutions for this a little bit later in this video. But that's one of the core reasons as well. Is you have a poor attention skill, and if you don't have good attention, you have to be able to focus on something to do it. And if you can't focus on reading, if you can't focus on working, if you can't focus on eating good foods or focus to stay focused long enough in the gym, even through the discomfort, then you're not going to be able to build new habits. So and by the way, when you have scattered attention, that's also usually what creates uncertainty, overwhelm. When you have scattered attention, it creates beta brainwaves. Joe Dispenza talks about this in his book, Supernatural. When you have a scattered focus, when you're constantly shifting attention, your brain goes into higher states of beta, which creates stress, which creates a need to de-stress, which creates these comfortable habits. Because you may not have learned how to de-stress naturally, organically, without all these external unhealthy things. So this is the 4th reason. It could be you just have a distraction brain that you haven't retrained. Okay, and the last one, reason number 5, is you probably lack really high level emotional regulation skills, impulse control. So what this means is being able to regulate the stress that you have in your body. If you feel really angry, how fast can you get yourself back to love and compassion? If you feel stressed, how fast can you get yourself back to clarity and calmness? If you feel shame, how fast can you get yourself back to feeling proud and confident? How fast can you regulate those emotions? That's a huge one, because if you can't, you're going to find some other way to regulate yourself, like eating food, like scrolling, like watching porn. You can escape your painful emotions with these things. That's why they work. And that's why it's actually worth having compassion for yourself and not judging all these things. All these bad habits aren't to be judged. They're just to realize what's happening. And what's happening is you have these emotional needs that you're filling in these unhealthy ways. But if you learn how to regulate your emotions through breath work, through meditation, through positive thinking, through spirituality and just being present, learning how to be present, through having healthy relationships, through eating healthier foods, through exercise and movement and music and dance and creative expression. If you can do these things, then guess what? You're going to have better emotional states. There's going to be less need for you to go to these other habits. Okay, so these are the 5 reasons. Now I'm going to go to the thing that I really want to share with you, which is 7 proven strategies to conquer your bad habits. Now, because this video is already getting a little bit long, I'm going to rip through these. But if you have any questions, comment below. Comment below what questions you have about these, and I will either answer you in the comments of this video, or what I'll do is I will make a whole other video specifically to answer this question if it's a good question. So 7 proven strategies. Okay, and if you want to learn more about this as well, you and me, I offer this by the way, you and me can literally get on a call face to face for free to talk about the habits that you want to change and how to do it and what's been blocking you, how to create a life of meaning. Now, I do this because I love connecting with people and people that are serious and actually may want professional coaching. I'm willing to take time. If you're just here for some infotainment, or if you're just here to just kind of intellectually masturbate, that's cool. I like to intellectually masturbate sometimes too. I like to just read books and be like, wow, this is really cool. And I'm not maybe willing to act on it yet. But if some of you are willing to act on it, if some of you are willing to learn so that you can apply it, I'm willing to get on a call with you and help you for free. Okay, because that's what I do in my life. I help people for free. I'm constantly talking to people. So click the link below if you want to either learn more about this or have a private one-on-one call with me for free. Okay, I'm not sure you know how valuable this is for free. You don't have to pay anything, and I will coach you for free, at least for one call, so you can decide if you want to work more with me after that. Okay, but I'm willing to coach you for free. Okay, back to the 7 proven strategies. Conquer your bad habits. Number 1, learning how to regulate your emotions both bottom up and top down. So quickly, what this means, this is a Bessel van der Kolk phrase. This is a trauma therapist phrase. Top down regulation is brain to body. This is using your medial prefrontal cortex to regulate your emotional state. This is mindfulness meditation. This is positive affirmations. This is using your awareness to help yourself regulate. Top down. Bottom up is using the body to regulate. Breath work, cold plunge sauna, physical intimacy, movement, exercise, getting resonance with people. Like even like he referenced this one story, they were helping people heal, I think from sexual abuse, just people that were really, really traumatized, horrible parents kind of thing. They would actually just throw beach balls back and forth. They were kids with these teenagers, kids throw beach balls back and forth because it helped them get back into their body and helped them create resonance with a safe person, a safe authority figure where they didn't grow up with that. And so that resonance of throwing the beach ball back and forth actually start to regulate their nervous system. Safety, connection, resonance with somebody else, even though it was just a beach ball. They weren't even talking. Okay. So you want to learn how to regulate your emotions both ways. Breath work is a huge one. That's why I got trained. I got trained to teach people how to breathe properly, because the way that you breathe instantly affects how you feel, what you think, your perceptions, your behaviors. So learning how to regulate yourself, bottom up and top down, super proven strategy that's very, very important. Second one, training your attention back through deep work and meditation. So you want to start learning how to work for 90 minutes to 2 hours, really focused. Like I made this whole presentation for you and filming this in a very focused time. I'm not on social media. I'm literally focused on doing deep work. And right now I'm building the skill of speaking. I'm building the skill of articulating this powerful information that will change your life. And that's important for me as a coach. So doing deep work every day where you're focused, studying, creating, building, being productive without distraction will help you train your attention back. Now, if you're used to having scattered attention or being distracted, this will be very, very hard. You will want to quit. You will want to go on social media. You will get frustrated. Might even get angry. It'll be very annoying. But when you focus and you just keep staying there, breathing, bringing yourself back to the moment, taking maybe a small 3 to 5 minute break to take a walk if you need, you will bring yourself back to the present moment enough to retrain the attention centers of your brain, retrain your prefrontal cortex, retrain your anterior cingulate, retrain your anterior insula, retrain these other parts of your brain that affect your ability to self-reflect, to have attention, to help you stay focused and not get distracted by other things in the environment. Okay, so training your attention back, proven strategy. Meditate every day. Why would any of you watching this not meditate every single day or do something that trains your attention, even if it's focused work or writing? You got to be training your attention every day. It's just a simple hack that will give it to you. And by the way, you can do anything. You can train your attention at any moment, especially if you're bored as shit. Anything that makes you bored, use that as an opportunity to train your attention. Boredom doesn't come from the object of attention. It comes from the quality of your attention. I learned this from Chase Jarvis in his book about getting out of your comfort zone. I can't remember the name of it. But if you're bored waiting in line for groceries, waiting for something, even Eckhart Tolle, he said this in his book, A New Earth, I think, or maybe The Power of Now. You don't wait, just be present. Because when you're present, you're not in time, like, when's this going to be over? You're just present with the moment. You can have absolutely ecstatic moment anywhere, no matter what you're doing. And it's all about the quality of your presence. Okay, so use any moment you're bored to train your attention back. And that's one of the strategies to conquer your bad habits, because it's going to help you when you have a craving. It's going to help you stay focused on doing what you need to be doing, not what you crave to do. For one example, third proven strategy is make your bad habits very hard to access and surround yourself with good people and environments to make it easy. So this might be getting a coach like myself, or the right friends. Even the right friends can be good. Now, sometimes your friends are too nice to you. Or a coach like myself, I'm more interested in you getting results than being your friend, even though there is a friendship component. And so you want to find the right people and environments to do that. Like, I live in Bali, Indonesia most of the time, or a good portion of the time, and I'm spending a little bit less time in Bali these days. I'm doing more like 6 months a year as opposed to 8 to like 14 months were the last two trips I made. 6 months is more of a vibe for me now for specific reasons, but it's a great environment. There's tons of yoga, meditation, beautiful women, healthy stuff to do here. It's easier to be healthy here. It's a good environment here. Okay, we're living, say, in like northern Canada, where all there is to do is drink. It's harder to have good relationships and be healthy, just based on environment. So make the good habits really easy to access. James Clear talks about this in his book. This is one of the most famous concepts he teaches: is make these things really easy to do. Make it easy to go exercise. Make it easy to eat healthy. Make it hard to jerk off. By the way, in Bali, porn is illegal. Unless you have a VPN, you can't access porn. So they have that resistance barrier. Smoking weed is very illegal here. Big resistance barrier, because you could go to jail for that. So it's like, wow, oof, it's easy to not smoke weed when it's very illegal. Okay? Unless you're super addicted, then you'll do anything to get it. However, this is one of the most proven strategies that honestly has helped me the most. I have a lot of willpower. You probably do too, or at least have a decent amount of it. But even if you have willpower, it still is hard to not eat pizza when there's a bunch of pizza around you if that's your favorite food. So have healthy foods around you. It'll be easier to eat healthy. Like, stock your fridge with healthy, nourishing foods. It'll be much more likely you'll grab them. Okay? But if you have a bunch of shit around, you'll be much more likely to eat shit. Don't underestimate the power of this. I know it sounds very easy, but don't underestimate the power of this. Okay. Number 4, visualize what this habit will cost you financially, emotionally, spiritually in the next 1 to 5 years, and feel the pain of it. If you're having a difficult time eating healthier, imagine how much it's going to cost you in medical bills and supplements you're going to have to buy to regain your health. How much it's going to cost you emotionally to have poor health habits. How much it's going to cost you spiritually. If you have bad money habits, imagine how much that's going to cost you. If you have bad exercise habits, imagine how much that's going to cost you. If you don't have good relationship habits and you're lonely and bored, imagine how much it's going to cost you 5 more years of this, being even more lonely without people. So whatever bad habit it is you want to avoid and stop doing, visualize and feel how much it's going to cost you years in the future. Because oftentimes these bad habits feel good in the moment, don't they? It feels good to smoke that weed in the moment. It's like, I can eat a piece of pizza right now. It's not going to affect me. I can not go out and go explore and meet people tonight. It's getting more comfortable just to stay in and watch Netflix. It feels comfortable in the moment. So you want to see what it's really costing you 1 to 5 years out. When you can bring the painful long-term present, you start to instantly be able to shift the meaning of what that bad habit is. And you want to realize what it's really costing you. Okay, that's number 4. Number five, practice unconditional love when you do revert back, because odds are you're not going to be perfect with this. And the good news is you don't need to. All right, you're gonna not be perfect. You're gonna go back to some of these bad habits at times, and you have to learn how to have unconditional love for yourself and not beat the shit out of yourself when you do that. And the reason is, number 1, that's no fun. Why the fuck would you just beat yourself up for that? There's other ways to motivate yourself. Most of you haven't realized that yet, but there's other ways to motivate yourself than beating the shit out of yourself. You stupid idiot. How could you do that again? Why did you go back and drink? Why did you eat that food that's not good for you? Why did you stay up late? That's not good for you. You should have been sleeping. On and on and on. If you keep this cycle up of the inner critic coming in, that's going to motivate you with hitting yourself with a stick. And the cycle is this. And I can't tell you how many men I've coached that cannot get out of this cycle for the fucking life of them. Okay? It's so hard to get out of because it's what they've used their whole life. They're used to using beating themselves up to motivate themselves. So the cycle is basically this. They have this ideal perfection, this ideal full potential self who's always healthy, who always makes the right decisions, blah, blah, blah. Then they start, because there's so much pressure living like that, those high standards cause a lot of pressure to always be perfect, that they try to manage that enough, but they can't because no one can be perfect. So then they have the binge eat, or they have the drinking night, or they have the horrible sleep night, or they go back and have sex with someone that they don't want to and they feel guilty or whatever. And they feel all this guilt and shame. They beat themselves up, and they beat themselves up long enough to get themselves to take action again. I'm going to be perfect. I'm going to be perfect. And then they can't maintain it. Then they fuck up. Then they feel guilt. Then they beat themselves up. And then you go like round and around and around. So it's important that when you do this, when you really truly get to the point where you want to change your habits, you practice unconditional love when you fuck up. You say to yourself, if I could go back, yeah, I probably wouldn't want to do that. Yeah, I wouldn't want to eat as much as I ate. But you know what? I needed to have that break, and I did my best I could. And you know what? It's all good. The present and what's next is better than what was. And like, it's okay. I still love myself. The love I'm going to give to myself is not conditional on what I eat or do or say. Doesn't mean I don't want to change my behaviors, but it means I'm not going to beat myself up because I choose to elevate my energy, and shame isn't going to get me there. Criticizing myself isn't going to get me where I want to go, but love can. Okay? And it's going to help you revert out of that cycle. And I can't tell you how many times that unconditional love has actually helped me make good, authentic decisions spontaneously with no willpower. Like I think there's a quote in the Bible that says, love and do as thy will. When you're in a place of love, you naturally make the right choices. And then you'll start to learn that you can actually have your unhealthy food. You can jerk off. You can do things that are unhealthy. Watch Netflix and have it not be an addiction. You can drink alcohol and smoke weed and have it not be an addiction. You can have it be a beautiful, healthy experience and have control over it once there's a place of love. But when there's all this pressure built up, should I do it? Should I not? I want to do it, but I know I shouldn't. You tend to just do it to release the pressure of the decision. Or you avoid it enough that the pressure builds up. What resists persists, and you just do it a bunch and you binge on it and you just keep pendulum swinging. I did that for years. So if you want this to last, learn how to love yourself unconditionally. I know it sounds cheesy. Most of you don't know how to do it. I probably should make a whole video just how to love yourself, because it is literally a game changer. It is a game changer. It makes me smile just thinking about it because it feels so good. It's free, it's easy, and it empowers you in every area of your life. Okay, number 6, because I want to keep this video moving. I can't believe I'm already almost at 30 minutes of this video. So number 6 is learn about the new habit. If you want to conquer a bad habit, learn about better habits. Read about meditation and the benefits of it. I can't tell you how much that's helped me. Just, wow, this is so good for me. I want to do this. Or learning about healthy foods. Wow, if I keep eating like shit, I'm going to keep feeling like shit. Or wow, porn does this. It drops my testosterone. I lose my energy. I'm less healthy. I'm more likely to come faster when I have real sex, or maybe my dick will stay soft when I have real sex. I don't want that. So when you learn about the costs and the benefits of worse and better habits, it actually helps motivate you, and it helps you get better results. Joe Dispenza says, knowledge is the precursor to experience. When you learn about how to meditate, it actually gives you more of it gives you a better experience. It also helps to gamify the process of building new habits, which that's pretty fucking cool. To gamify the process of building new habits. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool, man. That's pretty great. If you can gamify something that's good for you, you can have a fun time doing stuff that's good for you. It doesn't have to be painful. Right? So most of you guys are just stuck in this painful shit cycle. Get out of it. Okay. Now, the last part of this video, I'm going to share with you the number 1 most effective strategy. This is number 7. I want to save this for last, but really it should be first, because if you just have this one, all the other habits, you will either find them or they will make intuitive sense to you. Do you want to know what it is? Do you want to know what this number 1 most effective strategy is? I will tell you. I will tell you right fucking now. It is. Dun, 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 dun. You're going to want it bad enough. And I'm sorry that I say this because it's very annoying, because you're like, I do want it bad. I want this so fucking bad, but I keep reverting back. Well, you might have some shadow unconscious shit to work on. However, the ultimate truth is, if you find something that you value more than your fucking bad habit, you will change every single time, because it's how the nervous system works. It's just how it works. And how do we know this is true? Any motivational coach can tell you that this is true, because if I said, say you're the number 1 thing you're most addicted to, let's say it's alcohol. Okay, if I told an alcoholic who has a family that he loves and values, some alcoholics, by the way, don't love their families, or maybe they do deep down, but They're just so fucked up and they've been abused so much that they don't. If I said, I will kill your entire family in cold blood unless you stop drinking alcohol for 1 year, could you do it? Basically, everybody would say yes. And the reason is because they now all of a sudden want it bad enough because there's something they value more than drinking. So for me, like, I would probably jerk off and smoke weed and drink alcohol a lot more because it feels good. It feels fucking good to jerk off. It feels good to smoke weed. It feels good to drink alcohol, but I know what it costs me. It costs me my sleep, my energy, my focus, my memory, especially with smoking weed. And I've smoked it enough to know that it affects my memory when I smoke it enough. It affects my ability to concentrate. It affects my mood regulation. All of these things, because I've studied it enough, I know the cost of it. I've felt the cost of it. And so it's so much less likely that I do it because I want so much more than that to have a fucking badass life. I want to be around beautiful people. I want to have sexy relationships. I want to be really smart. I want to be financially set. I want to be wealthy. I want to have great emotional life. I want to have a great family. And these things I can't do if I'm constantly jerking off and smoking weed and drinking and watching porn and doing shitty habits. So because I want something more bad enough, these other things pale in comparison. It's a lot easier for me to say no because I know what it costs me. And I'm like, fuck, I can't do it. Now, most of you don't know what you want, right? Like, and that's one of the hardest things is a lot of you I know are stuck not really knowing what you want to do with your life. And so it's easy just to numb yourself or pleasure yourself in the moment because you don't really know what you want. You have nothing to compare it to. It's like, well, I may as well just smoke weed because there's nothing else I'm working on. There's nothing else that's more important to me. And so, my recommendation to that person is devote your whole life to finding out what you want to do. That's what I did. I just devoted my whole existence when I was 17, 18, 19 years old to finding my purpose. I just tried a bunch of things. I learned high income skills. I studied a lot. I started meditating. I stopped partying. And I just devoted my entire life to learning what I wanted to do and tasting things and trying things until I found out what I love. And then by the time I was 20 years old, I knew what I loved and I had enough awareness and momentum and strategy and energy and skill to start my business that I now have till this day. I'm in my 5th year running this business and it's my purpose and I love it. And it helps me, do healthy things because, but I wasn't able to find it until I tried all those things. And I wanted so badly to live a life that I loved that I was willing to give up habits that I was clearly able to see, like partying, staying up late, jerking off, binge eating on food, smoking weed, drinking alcohol. It was pretty clear to me that these habits were not helping me whatsoever. And so because I realized that they weren't helping me, I was then able to let go of these habits. So I hope this helps you guys. Last thing I want to invite you guys into is, what are your next action steps? What can you do right now to bring these new rituals into your life? Okay, one thing you can do is you can click the link below and you can schedule a call with me and we can talk about this. Or you can send me a DM on Instagram or comment below. Get some new insights. Go buy a book. Go schedule something right now in your calendar to do. If I was you, and this is what I did for the last 8 years building better habits, is I took action right away. I would, if I wanted to eat better, I would literally right now, if that's your goal, go buy some almonds, go buy some carrots, go buy some green juices, go buy some healthy shit. If you want to stop drinking, literally right now, get the alcohol out of your house, gift it to a friend of yours, do something right now. That's my invitation to you. So lots of love. Hope you guys are great. I'll see you on the next video. If you want a new video or you have a question, comment it below and I will make a video, potentially, if it's a good question, basically sharing my answer to that question. Okay, so lots of love and best of luck to all of you on this path. I hope this video has served you very, very well and has truly added value to your life, to your mindset, and has helped you make some powerful shifts. Peace.